Think we're good now. Hey, man, this might be a wild one, man. I don't give a fuck.
I'm here for it, man.
I
We
don't.
some off the wall shit.
Yeah, this might be a wild one, man. I'm warning you.
Has an interesting colored cup there. I'm here for it.
Hey, man, look. This is it's my espresso cup, man. Hey, Jay, I'm on the islands, man. You can't be making fun of my fucking colorful cups, man. I'm blending in.
Okay. Got the tropical cup. I'm here for
Yeah,
it.
man. I gotta blend in, man. Let me tell you. I like to start the show with one of my funny anecdotes. Of course.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if it'll be funny or not. I don't give a fuck.
We will
It's fun.
find out as it unfolds.
It's funny to me. It's funny to me.
Fuck it then.
It's funny to me. So what was it? Sunday was Father's Day, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sunday was Father's Day, and no, matter of fact, no. We did not celebrate Father's Day because who celebrates Father's Day? Certainly not wives and mothers and girlfriends and mothers of children. They don't celebrate Father's Day anyway, but I digress. So Saturday was my wife's birthday, and of course we
Oh, happy late birthday to your wife.
yeah, and then the following day was Father's Day, but who cares about that? My wife's birthday was a fucking extravaganza, and
Yeah, that's an event. Gotta be.
yeah, well, yeah, the way we do it, simple, fucking late dinners and shit. That's about as extravagant as it gets, or as lit as the youngings would say. That's about as lit as
Lit.
Lit. Anywho,
Turnt.
We was turnt. Sipping on fucking cappuccinos and shit and espressos, turned up. Anyway,
Blown away.
I coerced her to go to my favorite steakhouse, and
Nice.
I'm gonna just end the story here, man. Look, the waiter, he's Asian, and I made that Asian motherfucker laugh, man. And as you know, Asians don't laugh.
That's a skill.
I made that motherfucker. He almost bust a gut. That's how hard I had that.
Damn.
I've never seen an Asian laugh.
That's a rare sighting right there. I've seen him chuckle.
That was the highlight of my night. Of course, celebrating my wonderful wife's birthday, of course, was a highlight. But I made an Asian motherfucker laugh. So, and he laughed hard.
Crazy.
He might have been Korean too, and the motherfuckers don't laugh for nothing. Everything is serious. So I had this motherfucker chuckling and busting the gut, and that was the highlight of my Saturday. I found that extremely hilarious, that this Asian man, and I've never seen an Asian person actually laugh like this. So excuse me for my ignorance and shit. But I digress. That was my eventful Saturday with my wife, and Sunday I spent the day on the couch celebrating my day, Father's Day. On the couch.
Nice.
Watching Predator.
Hey.
Yeah, classic.
The original one, I assume.
Don't insult me, Jay. Don't.
I figured a film buff such as yourself wouldn't be sitting there watching the Topher Grace version.
Bro, I thought we was boys. I thought we was boys. Come on, man.
Oh shit! Yeah, gotta go for the Arnold one.
Yeah, man. That's how I spent my day, watching Predator. Anywho,
nice.
Anywho, how was your weekend, Jay? The great Yoda.
My weekend was lovely, man. I just worked. That's really all I'd be out here trying to do anyway. So can't complain. Productivity, and I'm happy.
Wow, the great Yoda was.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was driving up the street.
Let me know.
I did see collection of people with some very interesting signs. They appeared to be participating in some sort of protest.
Really?
So
you actually seen one in real life?
I did see one in real life. Now here's the funny thing though. I was looking at their signs, and based on what they had written, I had no fucking idea what they were protesting or what point it was that they were trying to prove.
Really?
I didn't know until I had gotten online later in the day and saw that it was for something called No King's Day. But prior to that, I was trying to read their signs and get an idea of what it was that was going on or what they were supporting or detracting, and I was completely lost. It was not at all clear to me.
Wait, so what the fuck is No King's Day?
That's a good question. And I'm still not entirely certain, quite honestly. My understanding is that there are some people. I saw signs that said we got rid of kings in 1776, and I'm not really clear on what point they were trying to make. I believe it's some sort of anti-Trump protest, but again, I'm not 100% clear on what their overall message was.
What? Are you fucking kidding me, man?
It's very interesting. Nah, this is a real thing.
Nah, man, that's not fucking interesting, Jay. It's fucking despicable. That's what that is.
It's very confusing, is what it was to me.
That motherfucker ain't no fucking king. I'm a king, goddammit.
That's what I thought too. But what do I know? Apparently nothing. Apparently I have been living life under some sort of blinders, and apparently he has become a king. The type of king that lets you protest them nonetheless.
Man, couldn't have been me. I'd have beheaded all the motherfuckers. Head on a stake. I'm a tyrant. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's my understanding of king shit. But again, what do I know? Apparently I didn't even realize that he was the king.
Wait, what was this on Father's Day? Perhaps? No, right? Well, they wouldn't do that.
No, this was on Saturday.
Close enough. I'm pissed. Close enough.
Saturday morning.
Close enough, Jay.
It was very interesting.
Close enough to Father's Day. Nah, I'm a fucking king. You don't protest me, goddammit.
I saw some people posting about this. Again, still not 100% certain what it was about, but they were talking about how it was a record-breaking turnout across the country where 11 million total people had showed up. And I thought, that's great, but what happened from it? Now, you could say it's too soon to tell, sure, but I would go out on a limb and say that, much like it has been, it will be nothing.
I'm still confused, Jay. I'm sorry. I'm fucking flabbergasted. I'm
Unfortunately, I don't have an explanation. I can't tell you what it was about because I'm not clear.
I'm not the fastest Googler, so I'm trying to look kings.
Hold on, let's rock it out. Let's pull it up here,
because I just don't know what the fuck you speak of. Why would you protest a King's Day or something? What the fuck?
Okay. Also known internationally as the No Dictators or No Tyrants protest, were a series of demonstrations that took. Can I not click on this? Okay, that took place on June 14th against Trump's policies and actions during his second presidency, including his purported fascist tendencies and associated democratic backsliding in the United States. So, yeah, I guess they think he's a king.
Sounds so fucking gay.
Yes, it does.
That's fucking gay, man.
Very much so.
Boy.
It's very strange. We got some strange things going on in this world.
You know what? I hate to even start our show with that fucking buffoonery, fucking King's Day, whatever.
You guys what happened on my weekend, man.
No. It's not nothing against you, Yoda. You witnessed it and you reported it. You reported like, what the fuck is going on? This is your job, Jay. It's your job to do this.
This is true.
Right?
This is true. My biggest piece of advice would be if you're going to have some sort of demonstration, it should be one of such that people who don't know what you're demonstrating against are able to easily figure it out just by looking at the demonstration going on. Because I watched, maybe not hundreds, but dozens of people waving signs, unclear what it was that they wanted me to take away from their sign waving.
They're gay.
So it was a very interesting strategy to me.
Very gay. And when I say gay, I don't mean homosexual. Oh, shit.
No one ever does. This is the thing that people.
Sorry,
This is
man.
what we need to take away from this.
Disclaimer.
Is hold up. People sit here and go with this. Gay and homosexual do not blanketly mean the same thing.
Nope.
Like, however it is that y'all would like to use the word, because the thing is, y'all are the group of people that words just mean whatever the fuck it is that you would like it to mean. So you cannot assign us the definition of words while saying that you get to define words however it is that you see the fuck fit. That's insane.
Yeah, if I want to say gay, I say gay. You know the way I mean it. Jay knows exactly what I'm speaking of. He knows how I'm using it and in the context I'm using it. So yes, that protest is fucking gay. Soft.
As does everyone else. Everyone knows exactly what way it is that you mean it, except for people who want to sit there and make everything into some form of hate speech.
Yeah, it's fucking gay. Anywho, Jay, I found a couple things interesting. Yoda stuff probably out of our radar, out of our league or whatever. Not when I mean out of our league, I mean maybe lower to our usual standards, but I feel like slumming it right now.
I would say sometimes you got to go and mingle with the peasants.
Why not, right? Especially when you're a fucking king.
Facts.
So anyway, I don't know if I didn't watch it, but the BET Awards. I know I'm fucking late. I'm late. Sorry, I don't watch these type of things.
I know that they happened. I don't know how recently it was though.
Yeah, I don't know. I just noticed buffoonery going on, and I said, "What? Fuck it. I might as well just slum it and mention all the buffoonery that I noticed to be going on." But
I'm here for it.
I do read between the lines, Jay, and there is always a message when we bring up these topics, as despicable as they may seem and horrible as they may seem and stupid.
Yep.
But I want to bring something to your attention. And I'm a sports guy, and I use sports analogies to sometimes guide the context of my speech at times. So I'll use it once again. And this is pertaining to the BET Awards, Black Entertainment Television, not owned by anyone black, but I found that interesting.
Viacom, Comcast.
Hey, what do you know, right? Anyway, I seen that. I don't know if you know Angel Reese.
I know the name.
Yeah, she's a female, a woman's basketball player. She's not that good of a basketball player, but
that's good.
That's my opinion. Anyway, Angel Reese she won Sportswoman of the Year. Jay, hey, you might want to just shoot some applause for this tall weave wearing woman.
That's for Angel Reese, Sportswoman of the Year.
Hey, and Angel Reese, she won Sportswoman of the Year, and for the third year straight, Jay, which I found fucking interesting.
She must be a hell of a sportswoman.
I don't know the criteria that's needed or that needs to be met to win this type of award, but is
this professional women's basketball?
She's professional women's basketball, and
okay.
This year in particular, she beat out Clarissa Shields. Excuse me. Clarissa's one of my favorite female boxers. One of my favorite boxers.
Boxer. Okay.
She's a boxer, and probably one of the best females boxers currently in many accounts, maybe of all time. Depending on
Nice. Shout out Clarissa Shields.
Clarissa Shields, depending on who you talk to.
Shout out Clarissa Shields.
Yeah, she beat out Asia Wilson. She's another female basketball player. But I just found it interesting because Angel averages about 13 points and 13 rebounds over the course of her 2-year career. And this year in particular, she averages 10 points and a whopping 12 rebounds, which is 12 rebounds is great. Asia is 21-9 with 21 points, 9 rebounds this year. Clarissa is a 2-time Olympian, gold medal champion, 2-time undisputed champion, all these accolades, right? But that's not what's grinding my gears here, Jay. I found it to be odd that Reese, who was barely the best player on her team, beats out 2 highly decorated winners for such a prestigious award like BET Sportswoman of the Year. I'm being sarcastic here because it's not fucking prestigious at all. It's fucking ridiculous. It's a fucking joke.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
I'm bringing this up, Jay, for our viewers to bring attention to our viewers so that they see the game that's being played here. Okay? And there is a game that's being played. Reese is the more culturally popular athlete, the athlete that there we go. She's the more culturally popular athlete, the athlete that more fits the agenda. The agenda that would not only nominate Glorilla for a gospel award, but actually have her win a gospel award. All right? No, this is not even no joke. Glorilla won Gospel Song of the Year. Glorilla, who has songs named, well, let me see, what's the name of her song? Nut Quick. It's one of her songs. I don't think she won for that one. She has another great song. I'm just naming the songs. Give me a second. So Nut Quick is one of the songs. High as Fuck. That's another name of the song. I don't know if she won for that. And Shake That Ass. Shake That Ass. It's another one in named her songs and so I don't know what song that she won Gospel Song of the Year for, but I just want to point out an agenda being pushed by this culturally active entity, BET. It's a fucking joke, man. BET's a fucking joke. That whatever they're pushing is nonsense, right? Whoever's popular, whoever's has on the less clothes and pushing a certain agenda, that's what they want to bring to the forefront. And I'm just here to speak against it, man. I'm here to speak against it. Clarissa Shields, who is a wonderful female athlete, she should have probably won that award. Glorilla, I'm going to go out on a limb, Jay, and say she probably should not be considered a gospel artist of any sorts. Song, whether she has Kurt Franklin on a song, I don't give a fuck who she got on the song. She should not be considered gospel at all. But I do see the agenda being pushed by BET and the culture. I see it, and I hope that the viewers also see it as well.
Man, so unfortunately, I don't know who the fuck any of these people are.
No, you don't. You don't have to. It's just.
I know.
It's a point. There's a point.
Yeah. So I know the name Glorilla. I've never heard any of her music to the best of my knowledge. But
hold on. You ain't never heard Nut Quick?
I cannot say that I'm sitting around driving around in my car listening to Nut Quick. That's just not what I'm throwing on in my vehicle. Maybe that says something about me. I don't know.
You out of
But
touch, Jay.
it's just that's not my cup of tea.
You out of
I
touch, Yoda.
must be out of touch. I must be a part of the patriarchy, not a supporter of the culture and all of that whatnot. Whatever
Yeah,
the
you
case
better
may be.
throw
I'm
that
sure I'm
nut
all of
quick.
those things for not.
You better throw that nut quick on. You better play that.
So as soon as we get off of this, I'm just gonna blast that shit all throughout the house. Fucking glow. That sounds fucking ridiculous. But here's the thing, man.
Woo. Okay.
What I can say is, while I don't know who any of these people are, I know that this is what the problem is as a whole. Is we talk about this all of the time. It is this idea of the culture. It is these things that are propped up as the culture. And I was thinking about this the other day. If you let's take a look at the Caucasians, right? A segment of white culture is the motherfucking hillbilly redneck people who have the long hair and like 4 teeth and wear overalls and chew on wheat and all of that, who can't pronounce their words and live in trailer parks by the swamp and all of that shit, right? That is a segment of white culture. The motherfuckers with the dip and shit in their mouth, spitting all day in the fucking Chick-fil-A cups and all that whatnot. That's a segment of white culture. But you don't see them propping that up as the culture. You don't see them pointing to those people and saying, this is the epitome of us. You don't see them getting mad that the hillbilly redneck motherfuckers aren't represented in boardrooms and all of that shit, right? Because people like to sit here and talk about this with the culture and this stuff is rejected and whatnot. It's like, okay, here's the thing. Yeah, you might not see anyone on a boardroom that looks like Lil Wayne, but you also don't see anyone in a boardroom that looks like Yellow Wolf. Like this is not a blanket race thing. It is that outside of this culture, everyone else understands that everything is not for everything. If you want, even the fucking hillbillies aren't sitting there running around talking about we need to be in boardrooms and shit, spitting our fucking tobacco in congressional hearings, because they understand that's not their place. They understand that's not the place for them, because that's not how they've chosen to live their lives. That's not the path that they've chosen to walk. Only here do we say that the most ignorant segments of this culture need to be represented everywhere. Otherwise, it's racism and hate and discrimination. And this is why they continue to push this ignorant dumb shit on you, saying that all of you bitches should run around looking like Sexy Red and all men should act like fucking the male equivalent of Sexy Red. Again, I'm not very versed in these types of people, but the point is, this is the equivalent of the hillbilly motherfuckers. This is the equivalent of the rednecks in the airboats on the swamps who fucking eat grits all day and have relationships with their cut. This is the equivalent of them. And this is not what it is that should be propped up as the epitome of black culture. Even when people sit there and want to talk about hip hop culture, that's not even the epitome of hip hop culture. Why are these the people that you choose as your representatives? Why is it not you? Why is it not Lloyd Banks? Why is it not Lupe Fiasco? Why is it not fucking Kevin Gates? And I know Mos Def isn't really a person anymore, but fucking Mos Def. Why is it not these people, right? Why is it not the people who run around spreading knowledge? When you look at the people, the voices of the culture, why is it only the ignorant motherfuckers? Why is it only fucking, I don't know, I can't really think of anybody, but why is it not fucking 19 Keys and fucking Earn Your Leisure people? You know what I mean? Like this is what it is that you should be propping up as the culture. This should be, because just like with the white folks, they got the Wall Street people, they got the professional people, and then they also got the fucking skater people and the hillbilly people. All of these, I hate to keep using her, but I don't know all the rest of these people. All of these Sexy Red motherfuckers should be pushed to the side and left to be like the fucking, like the redneck people, and focus on the people who are doing stuff, who are talking about things, who are talking progress. Look at fucking Rashad, and I don't know the other Earn Your Leisure dude's name off the top of my head, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but they sit there all of the time talking about the stock market and the state of the world and how it is that you can make more money and things that you could do to better yourself. Like, this should be what's propped up. It should be these people here. Even still, again, going back to music, you talk about bettering yourself. Lloyd Banks talks about bettering yourself. This should be what's propped up. Not the I shoot everybody that I see and do lots of drugs, get money. Like, this is ignorance. And even the sports things, it's still the sports players that, to the best of my knowledge, who get the most shine are the ones who act most like the biggest stereotypes.
That is correct. That is
As a
fucking
shame.
correct. This is correct. And I know you don't know a lot of these people, but I bring these subjects up and shit like this because I know that your take is going to be important. I know that your take is going to be insightful and enlightening. And that's why I do it. I know I joke a lot, but I do things for a reason. And that take was beautifully said, and it was correct, man. But I also want to get into I would like to dissect it a little bit and say and ask you if the hillbilly redneck one tooth tobacco spitting Popeye looking motherfucker if 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 he could sell 1 million records, if people will follow that image, if that image could produce a following and they were able to monetize it, then would that be pushed to the forefront as well? Is it a money thing or is it a keep this particular culture down? Or so, what would you categorize that as? Because like I asked, if that was able to be monetized, would it be pushed to the forefront more?
So I think it's a combination of what's pushed externally and internally, right? So yeah, I think that if oh god, they had this fucking show back in the day. It was they dressed like trees all of the time. Duck Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
If the Duck Dynasty
Mm-hmm.
shit was still super popular, yeah, they would be pushing that every single place that you go. But the difference is in people's individual houses, the fucking white people aren't sitting in their house talking about the Duck Dynasty people need to be members of Congress and need to be represented on
Right.
boardrooms and shit.
Right.
They're not sitting there saying that if you don't want to be like the Duck Dynasty people, then you're not white enough. That's
Right.
not the narrative that they are pushing. So yes, the powers that be do push a certain thing. Absolutely, 1000%. But you also have to sit there and look internally because even here, even within our culture, some of the most prominent voices will still get upset about the fact that I wish I had a male equivalent of Sexy Red so I could stop saying this bitch.
Uh,
But that
I don't know. I don't know too many of them either. I don't know.
fucking Black Takashi or something. Like
Yeah,
I need something like this.
I don't know,
I don't
Jay.
know none
I
of
don't
these
know
motherfuckers
either.
though,
I
unfortunately.
don't know them either.
But the point is, only here will we say that the acceptance or the rejection of them is somehow racism and not what it is that we want to or not and not just something separate, right? Because like back in the day, you had like you look at the white people and their little subcultures, right? You look at the grunge people, the Nirvana and the punk rocker people and the rockers that dressed like fucking Kiss and all of that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
They understood that these were counterculture things, right? It was never a problem that that people in the mainstream and in high society, whatever it is that you would like to call it, were not walking around looking like Kurt Cobain because they completely understood they were going against these things, right? But then you have again with the hip hop culture where people will go against go against the things and then get mad when them going against things is not made a part of the thing.
Exactly. And
And that's ridiculous and that's the problem. So that's why I'm saying it's both yeah, people push certain things like yes, they're absolutely pushing the fucking MC murder death on you 1000%. But then you take what they're pushing and also incorporate that into who it is that you are and say that anyone who does not participate in that is not a part of it and or hateful. And that's what the problem is.
that's crazy too. Also, they also this culture is fucking upside down, man. Because not only will they do that, they will make if you're not playing a part in that, you will be considered what, a square, right? You're not even cool if you're not.
That's it.
That's the crazy part. You're not even fucking cool.
There are people who think that you are not cool if you don't smoke weed, or if you don't
Crazy.
fucking sag your pants, if you don't wear a certain, like, if you don't dress a certain way, you're not cool. But not only that, if you aren't out committing crimes, then you're not cool. If you're not just willing to assault anybody who looks at you wrong, then you're not cool. Like, these are the things that people actually sit here and prop up and push, and so many people get caught up in that and wind up in stupid ass positions. Like, we've talked about that before with Boys in the Hood and Ricky and all of that shit. So many people wind up being Ricky because they don't want to be ridiculed by Doughboy, even though Doughboy is living his life completely fucking wrong.
Yeah, and and the problem is we don't have too many Doughboys left, because at least Doughboy let him out the car. At least Doughboy let Trey out the car without ridicule. You seen him the next day or a week later, and they talked, and he didn't. He said, "I understood why you got out the car, Trey. I wish I would have got out the car." Basically, he didn't say it, but I mean, yeah. You feel me? So I wish we did have Doughboys left. There is no Doughboys left. And what I mean by that is there is no faction of our community where we will say, you know what, fuck that, man. Reading is cool, man. Read a book, motherfucker. Why not?
Here's a more recent example. I don't mean to paint 50 in a bad light, because I love 50. But if you look at Power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ghost was played off as he's, some sort of sucker. He does a whole bunch of dumb shit and whatnot, which, yes, granted, he does. But from the beginning of the show, all he wanted to do was stop committing crimes. And nobody wanted that to happen.
Right.
Everyone was just so opposed to this. He's like, I want to make money. I want to live a legit, legal, positive life. And his wife was like, nah, fuck that. We make more money selling drugs. Tommy was like, nah, I like selling drugs. And then he's painted as the one who's in the wrong. Again, yes, he didn't conduct himself the best throughout the course of things. Mm-hmm. But it's just interesting to me that they chose to paint the person who wants to get out of that life as the one that you don't want to be like. Like, Tommy was made to seem honorable, but Tommy was a fucking psychopath.
Mm-hmm. So
Ghost is the one that had the respectable, legitimate goal.
Yeah. So as creators, and I'm speaking to my creators out there, we got to do better. From the highest level down to the lowest level, we got to do better as creators, and we got to be cognizant of just what Jay was saying. If you're creating, you got to come on, man. The dude that's trying to get out, he's cool too, man. The dude that's going to, well, not school, but the dude that reads the books, and the dude that doesn't do drugs, or the dudes that's faithful to his fucking girlfriend, these are all considered like squares in our community, in our collective. These are
facts. That's crazy.
Crazy.
I think when Cam dissed Jay-Z by calling him a sucker for love, because he had a girlfriend / wife, and that's crazy. And you know what? I can't even sit there and judge, because I was like, ha, that's right. You're lame.
right.
You love a girl.
Right.
But it's like,
you're in love.
This is the shit that we're pitched, though, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, hi, you're in love, loser. Like, what are you talking about? This is the shit that people actually go and run with, though. It's so fucking damaging. And like, oh, you've never been to jail, loser. Like, what do you mean?
No.
That's insane to me. Oh, you weren't a gang member. You didn't sell drugs. Ha, you suck. You've never lived a life of illegality. Lame, loser. Like, this is absolute insanity, and is the most self-destructive shit ever.
The craziest part, Jay, about all that, the craziest part, you could do all that, but God forbid you say, yo, man, that motherfucker shouldn't be having a dress on, man. That motherfucker, God, now that's considered to be we could use that in our culture, and like, I don't get it. Rappers putting on feminine clothing and purses and female garments and shit. We can accept that, but we can't accept reading. Nah, dog. What is
Nah,
going
for real.
on?
Because the point of it's okay to be a cross dresser, but not a book reader. That's crazy.
Y'all gotta, we gotta, y'all gotta step it
Like
up, man.
it's the insane shit. Like this, and this again, this is why people are talked out of doing these things. Like fucking, you go to URL. They made fun of Rum Nitty for having a
Yeah,
job. Like
yeah.
fucking Geechee Gotti got his own business selling weave
Weird,
and whatever the fuck it is and they ridicule him for it. Like, oh, you're an
crazy.
entrepreneur, loser. Like, what are you talking about? This is the insane shit, right? But it's like every time you see someone doing something positive, people want to sit there and try and tear the shit down. It is absolutely fucking insane. And then the people who sit there and speak out about it get made fun of for speaking out about it. Like fucking keep it with the battle rap with Loaded Lux talking about
Yeah,
your dad's not a gangster,
yeah,
or to Cal, he's not a gangster. He's
yeah.
lost.
He's lost.
And then, but ever after that, people sit there and make fun of him for sitting there trying to
Right.
preach to him. It's like he's giving you knowledge.
Oh, your
He
dad's
is
not a
telling you
gangster.
exactly what it is that you should hear. Like, y'all look up to the drug dealers. That's insane. He could have done something else with his life and led a better example. He had the drive to do it, but he chose to use it wrong. And they're like, ha, square, preacher, fucking, what's dude from Menace to Society?
Sharif.
Like,
Sharif.
like that's fucking crazy.
How do we?
Fucking insanity. This is what happens. Like, we have been conditioned to shoot down anyone who tries to tell us that we can be better.
Yeah.
Because that's not cool. It's cool to have packs. It's cool to have the fucking guns in your car and pop the fucking trunk and spinning. That's cool, right? But it's not cool to start a business. It's not cool to get an LLC. It's not cool to learn how to invest or to go to the gym or start a family. Like, none of that's cool. You fucking foreign bitches and all of that shit. That's cool. Future, who's sitting there with his whole entire thing of not loving all of these random bitches and doing all kinds of shit. That's cool, right? Y'all motherfuckers want to be like Future. No specific disrespect to him. That's just a really strange role model to pick.
Yeah. And he's sending his kid to college. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. And the crazy thing, I saw a while ago, this motherfucker said, I don't even really do drugs like that no more, but I don't want to say that because because they're going to reject me for it. And that's crazy. That's crazy that y'all have made people cool, destroying you, but afraid to build you up.
That's crazy.
That's
like,
crazy.
Yo, tear me down. Tear me down, dog. I want to buy that. I want to buy that. I'm buying into that. Tear me down. I don't want to hear no positive shit. And Jay, that was kind of my fucking battle. Trying to make introspective views seem almost cool. Like, how do I make it feel cool, right? Like, not just I'm not trying to preach, right? I'm just trying to make it. I want you to digest it in a way where it's like, oh, that shit, I fuck with that. Yeah, I fuck with his the way he's coming. Like, so as a creator, I knew that I had to do better. We know that we have to do better. I don't know if everyone else out there knows that they have to do better, but we will continue to try to do better, man. Because I don't know how do we change? How did we get here, and then how do we change it? Like, how the fuck did this happen? I mean, I know that's a long fucking. Who even fucking knows that? That's a drawn out uh, question, but how did we get here? Like, that's crazy, man. It's crazy where we at right now. It's crazy, Jack.
Absolutely insane. But I think regardless of how it is that we wound up here, I think that the way out is to stop with this embracing of victimhood that everyone, again, especially in this culture, fucking loves. The championing of victimhood is such a huge fucking problem because it's so easy to point the fucking finger. It's so easy to say, well, these people push this bad music on us. And like, okay, cool. Maybe they do. But the point is, one of y'all motherfuckers goes out and make it, then the rest of you buy it and dance to it. That's your fault. You need to understand this. You need to understand that you are the ones still running around here pushing the idea that if you don't have $8,000 jeans on, you're a loser. And that if you don't have 12 fucking girlfriends, you're a loser. You guys are the ones pushing this. Maybe they gave you the narratives, that's fine, but you're sitting there taking them. And until we sit there and start propping up the shit into people who are actually talking about stuff, until fucking you and Lloyd Banks and fucking, I know I keep saying y'all, Lupe Fiasco and I want to think of another example.
Not too many, man. It's not too many.
I know that's why it's so fucking hard, and that's the shame, and that's a shame. But until you guys are looked to as the pinnacle of this here, then I think we're going to be exactly where it is that we are. Because still, again, you see people sitting there trying to make a change. Everyone who tries to make a change gets met with the exact same thing. We talked about it before, but Jeezy popped back up talking about a bunch of positive
Right.
growth shit,
Yeah.
and they said we want old Jeezy back. We want Trap or Die Jeezy. Like, he's sitting here telling you how to better your life and how he's learned from his mistakes and all that. You're like, nah, fuck that. Go commit crimes. It's absolutely insane. And there are certain people, even if you take a look at Nipsey, right? Like, everybody loves Nipsey now, but when before, they didn't really pay him the same attention towards the positivity that he was talking about in his music. Yeah, they like the gangster shit. Yeah, they like the neighborhood Crip shit. But it's only because now that he has been removed that all of a sudden he's the hero that he should have been. Same thing with Pac, right? Like, he should, like, y'all should have been looking at him to this whenever he was here and listen to what it was that he would tell you. But you want to hear you love to hit him up and the ambitions is a rider, but you want to ignore all of the rest of the shit about how we got to be better.
And that's two different. That's crazy because there is two different sides of Neighborhood Nip and Tupac and which side gets celebrated and which side does not.
Here's a perfect example, right? With Nipsey Hussle, BET Awards, he smacked the security guard in the face. Y'all want to champion him for smacking the security guard in the face, but he came on an interview after that talking about that's not what I should have done, that's not how I should have acted, and this is not how it is that I want to be portrayed, and this is not what I want to be putting out there. Y'all want to make him smacking people viral, but when he's sitting there talking about saying this was a bad decision, this is not how we should be conducting ourselves, y'all want to ignore that.
I ain't even hear that. I know it. I know that I seen it, but that was. You barely even seen that online about him saying, that was the wrong decision. I know better. I know better. Being accountable. He was being accountable. He was held himself accountable, and that was not going viral.
That's what I'm saying. They love the self-destruction.
Yeah,
they love it.
You know what else I noticed too, Jay? Even in discussing the culture and or what we consider or what you guys consider the culture. I don't consider
It's y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah, I don't consider it cultural at all.
No.
What the fuck is cultural about? Like, I don't even see. The funny part, Jay? And I got to say this. Like, even with the culture, it's almost like the opposite of cultural. Like, motherfuckers don't even champion. Like, motherfuckers don't even champion traveling the world or actually being cultural. Like, I remember, old rap videos where you see Jay-Z in fucking Colombia, or this video's out here, and you see tropics, and
Tribe Called Quest,
the
War Tour.
Yeah, the awards. Like, that was culture. Like, they were going around the world, and they traveled and they toured around the world, and their videos were around the world, and I just don't.
Now you go to Miami.
Where's the culture in that? I'm not, no disrespect to Miami, but come on, what are we doing? Like, we're the opposite of cultural. If you want to, like, hold the word culture in the true sense of the definition, we have no fucking culture. We're not promoting any culture at all. At all. But
nothing but ignorance.
But you know what I'm starting to notice, Jay? Amongst that, that has something to do with this, but I'm starting to notice that certain people rather be perceived as successful than to actually be successful. And like you said, why else would you have $8,000 jeans on? Like, I seen it was on Twitter or X or one of these things, one of these social media platforms, where a young boy went into a store, and I think it was a hoodie. He put a hoodie. He leased a hoodie. He leased a hoodie, bro.
That's fucking crazy.
And it was for like a 5-year lease or some shit. Like he had like 40 something payments or some crazy shit. I don't know the specifics, but yeah, this young kid leased a hoodie. I think it was I don't know the brand of the hoodie. It was an expensive hoodie. It wasn't a particularly nice looking hoodie or fancy hoodie. It didn't have diamonds on it or fucking gold draped around it. It wasn't of the finest materials or fabrics. I don't know why someone would lease a hoodie, but I digress into my point.
You know why someone would lease a hoodie.
Exactly. Now, I know. I know exactly why. But yeah, that's my point, Jay. People would rather actually look successful than actually be successful. So I asked, like, are you good with posting something on social media that makes you look successful to all of your imaginary haters? Then then once you're offline, right, and you click off all of your social media platforms and you go to sleep and you're out of fantasy land and you slip back in, and you slip back because we know how this goes, Jay. You slip back into your mediocre existence. You need drugs, alcohol, pills, etc. to help you cope with your mediocrity. I know that might seem like the more comfortable solution, but it actually is not. That is a path to nowhere. We all know that's a path to obscurity, destitution, misery, whatever else adjective you would want to use. That's where that road leads. And I'm starting to notice people, like I said at the beginning of this spill, I'm starting to notice people who would rather just look successful than to actually be successful or to act successful or to portray success than to actually obtain success. And Jay, how would you because I kind of think social media plays a role into that also. Yeah, well, of course it does. It's not the cause of it, but it plays a huge role into because it gives you an outlet, a fantasy land to where you can survive and live. You can live in a world where you are successful, but you're really not, right? And that's actually a good thing to some people. We like to call it on this show the powers that be, because while you're acting successful, you're not actively trying to be successful, right? And with you acting successful, that means you have to buy their clothing. You have to buy into all these things that they provide for you to pretend to be successful. But all of the things that you need to actually be successful, well, they're not selling those things. You got to go earn those things, right? So, what would be your take on that, Jay? And I know you got a crazy, you'll have a crazy outlook on that.
So, a couple things. I think I'm trying to not keep everything like centered on the culture, but this is just what
Yeah,
this made me
no,
think
I
of
mean
when you
that's
were
why I
going
brought
through
it
this.
up.
I think
That's why I brought it up.
the culture keeps a lot of people broke because they are obsessed with trying to prove to poor people that they're not poor people as well. So they go off and they buy things that people who don't have money can't afford, even though they themselves can't afford it, so that they can show them that they are not one of them while still being one of them, which is absolutely fucking crazy. Now, I do agree. I think that social media allows you to create some sort of facade of success because you could have a really nice room in your house, or you can have a really nice
You
interior
could
of your
borrow someone
car
else's
where
room. You could be somewhere else and do
you could borrow
it. Yeah.
somebody else's room. You can go rent an
Yep.
Airbnb for a week
Yep.
and make fucking thousands of hours of
Yep.
content and make it look like you are just living some sort of extravagant fancy lifestyle. You can You can buy a couple of outfits and make it look like you're
Right.
doing shit. You can go on Turo and rent a fucking Phantom or whatever
Right.
it is that you want to rent and make it look like you're killing it.
Right.
But I think that, so the thing is, as a whole, people by and large are very validation seeking from everybody else, right? And they get something out of getting everyone else to believe that they are doing better than them. And this is one of the problems that comes with trying to outsource your self-worth, right? And this is a beyond just the culture problem. And this is what it is that everyone does. And so they go and do all of this crazy nonsense to try to get everyone else to pat them on the back and say, good for you, you're killing it, you're doing great, all that, whatever, whatnot, rather than actually taking the time to build themselves up into somebody who is actually doing these things that they portray, right? And what people don't understand, even if you want to live in the world where you need everyone else's validation, right? People still seek validation from the dumbest people. Like, again, the only people that you're fooling are poor people. Broke people can only trick other broke people into thinking that they have money, just like dumb people can only trick other dumb people into thinking that they're smart. So if you must live your life seeking the validation of others, why not seek the validation of the people who are actually successful? Why not seek their approval rather than trying to prove to broke people that you're not broke? Prove to the fucking rich people that you could become somebody who's, it's the same amount of work. At the end of the day, one might be a little bit more difficult than the other, but either way, the point is, if you are so wrapped up in the opinions of other people, then understand that while poor people are judging you for doing certain things, so are rich people. Worry about their fucking judgment. At least that will get you somewhere positive in life. At least that will help you do things. At least that will inspire you to fucking become a better version of yourself and actively work hard and try to improve and elevate in life, rather than just proving to a bunch of people who are nowhere that you are somewhere while still being nowhere. That's absolutely fucking insane. And again, taking it back to the thing I said, I'm trying to not make it just a culture specific thing. It just winds up running back to this shit here, is only here because we have this thing that if you leave the hood, then there's something wrong with you, and you've switched up and you've changed because now you're not amongst the other poors and the fucking criminals. So only here do we feel the need to prove to fucking gang members that we're still amazing. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, we for some reason we pander to the dumbest fucking people, the people that have absolutely no business having opinions about anything. You want the broke motherfucker standing on the corner still selling drugs even though it's 2025 for some stupid ass reason to approve of you. Why do you want this motherfucker's approval? Why do you want this motherfucker who has 8 baby moms and all of that shit to fucking approve of you? Why is this the people who you want to champion you? Why do you need the hood on your side? You're trying to leave it behind, so fucking do that fully. And again, only here are we told that this is a bad thing.
That's crazy.
Only here is growing in life seen as a bad thing. Like, you forgot where you came from. No, I didn't. And that's why I don't go back to it, because it sucks there. That's why I left. The fuck are you talking about? This is dumb.
Crazy. Great point.
Only here. Only fucking here.
Crazy. It's like,
you don't expect to.
Nah, good.
I'm saying you don't expect to see. I'm sure that there's some fucking. I don't know specifically. Say fucking. What's the Andy dude's name?
Who?
Fuck.
Who?
Some sales dude. Andy. Tell people you gotta get abs.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't think of his fucking name. It doesn't matter. But you'll see these fucking rich white folks that used to be rich still going back and hanging out in the swamp with the alligators and shit in the fucking trailer parks and the meth labs. They're not still back there because they're not dumb. Because they understand you need to get out of this fucking environment. If you grew up in the fucking ocean surrounded by sharks and you make your way out, you don't need to go back every once in a while to check in with the fucking sharks, because they're going to try and eat you, and it's going to be your own dumbass fault. Like, again, I love Nipsey. I love Young Dolph, but they both got killed because they insisted on being in the place that they came from, despite how toxic it was. Yes, they wanted it to be something better than what it was. But the problem with that is there are too many people there who don't have that vision. And not only don't have that vision, resent you for having that vision. They resent you for getting to the place that they were not able to make themselves get to. And so while it's noble to want to go back there and help these people, it has been so many people's fucking downfall.
Is it noble?
So many people.
Is it noble, or is it perceived as nobility from the hood? Did they switch that around and make it seem like it's noble to come back? That's not really fucking noble to come back and eat fried chicken in the
Mm,
hood. Like, I don't give a. I can eat fried chicken over here. I don't. That's not nobility.
that's a fact.
That's not
It's a
nobility.
it's a it's a Roscoe's in Hollywood, and the nice part, I gotta go
Facts.
to Inglewood for that shit.
Facts.
Like,
And you're not gonna make me feel like a king just because I go in the most dangerous part in the fucking hood to eat fried chicken. But when you do that, they'll champ you. They'll cheer for you one time. They'll cheer for you two times, and then they'll kill you the third time.
yeah, they made you feel comfortable the first two
I
times.
mean, and that's how
Come
and
on.
that's how venom works, and that's how predators work. If you were a former predator, you would know that. You get lulled to sleep, and that's what the hood does. And I find it interesting too that
Mm.
yeah, that's exactly what the hood does. They lull you to sleep, man. They're not just gonna get you right away. They want you to come back. So I'm not saying that, it's also when, I know you've heard this before. I could still go back to my hood, as that's a flex. Like, yeah, anybody could still go. I mean, yeah, but why play with percentage? Why I like to play the percentages. Like, the odds are I'm going to be safe where I'm at. I mean, yeah, it's a 80% chance I'm gonna 89% chance that I'll make it back if I go back to my hood, and I'll make it. It's a great chance. But then there's 10% chance that something might happen. There's actually 0% chance of me in this living room. Zero. Zero chance. I don't have to go back. I'm sorry. This is 0% chance. And I find it interesting, like you said, that uh it's flipped. It's almost flip flopped, where it's the opposite. Where if you can be perceived as successful and people will champion you, like, yeah, man, he doing his thing. But when you actually do get it, or if you actually do get it, you get the opposite reaction. You don't get championed, right? Because you could fake it. I know you've heard that term. We've all heard that term, fake it till you make it. But you could fake it and people know you fake it, and you'll be okay, because they could whisper to their friends like, he ain't really doing that, but I see, you're still
They're really
obtainable.
doing it like that though.
Where, yeah, they can still touch you, and you're still there. But when you actually do obtain some form of success where you can escape, because that's the goal, like you said, to escape. Now you'll see what really happens, how they really feel, right? And it's the opposite. It's the absolute opposite. And
Mm.
now I'm starting to figure out why people who make it out or become successful or um, obtain a certain amount of money, I see why people have certain views about them, because it takes certain things that you have to do to become successful, and it's not easy. And one of those things are cutting people off who, who might deter you from your goals, which is a hard thing to do, and people don't like doing that. But that's why a lot of people who are successful are looked at as, I know a lot of, they might say, oh, that guy's evil, or the rich people are evil, or successful, he did this, it's because you have to do things that normal people are not comfortable with doing. I will get rid of every last motherfucking person around me if they're not good for me. Every last one. I don't give a
Don't
fuck.
give a
If
fuck.
you're holding me back, you're gone. And
This is
that's that. And with that attribute, or with that character, some people might call it a flaw. I don't. It's an attribute. Some a lot. I see why people are looked at. Successful people are looked at like, oh, well, he had to do something to get that money, or he had to do this. Is looked at in a negative lens. and I see why.
So, see, here's the thing: is people will ask me all of the time, like, what do I do about people around me who don't believe in me or who try and talk me out of what I'm doing? I'd be like, get the fuck rid of them. Like, what if they're related to me? Get the fuck rid of them. I don't give it. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day,
Fuck.
none of that shit fucking, it doesn't matter how
No.
long you've known somebody. I don't give a fuck if I grew up with you. If I'm trying to get better and you were not, then you were going to pull me down. And I am not going to sacrifice my future for your present because you want to be a loser. I'm not going to lose with you. Period.
Period.
You could be my twin
I don't give a
fucking
fuck.
brother. And if you want to sit around and be a lazy ass fucking dope head, then you could do that by your motherfucking self. Get your shit together and call me. If you want to get your shit together and you need my help, fine, I will give it to you. But if you have anything negative or counterproductive to what I'm doing to say, then you can fuck right on off. I do not give one bit of a shit.
No.
We can go fucking, we can be married for 20 years. I will get
I don't
better. You
care.
don't. Fine. We're getting divorced. Cool.
Straight.
Appreciate it. We had a lovely time, but you don't want to keep going past this point. All right, that's cool. But this journey does not stop. The path does not end here just because you don't want to keep walking it.
Yep.
And that is what people do not understand. And people are conditioned to keep each other comfortable and happy all of the time. This is what we talked about before with the whole niceness thing, is everyone is just conditioned to placate everybody else, so they never want to do anything themselves that are going to make themselves better. And they push all of this nostalgia and all of this friendship shit on you to make you feel like you're the bad person.
Yep.
If you want to get rid of somebody to elevate yourself in life, if you don't want to sit here and hang around the bottom with all of the fucking bottom feeders forever, that you're clearly a bad person because it's just so heartless to leave us all behind. No, collectively, what's heartless is all of you motherfuckers getting together to try and keep me down here, knowing that every single one of us would rather be the fuck up there, but y'all just don't want to climb the shit. But I do. And you want to make it my problem that you're too lazy to try and pull yourself up because you don't want to get your fucking hands dirty or some shit, because you think it's going to be hard, or you think there's worms along the side of this fucking dirt. You don't want to touch them. Whatever the case may be, I don't have those hangups. You do. You could keep them to yourself. I'm going to go up here. Period. And people are not okay with that shit, because when you're all in a hole and you get out of the hole, it reminds them that they're in the bottom, and it also shows them that they can get out. It reminds them that they're not trying to do so. And when they see other people get out, then every single time you see that, it kills one of your excuses. When you sit there and you're in the bottom of your fucking little apartment buildings, or at the end of your cul-de-sac, depending on which side of the fucking country that you live on, and you say, well, the government and the white man and all of this shit is holding us down, and then you watch fucking Trayvon go and make something of himself, then it just knocks away just a little bit of that excuse, just a little bit of the ability to point the finger, because it's like, well, shit, why didn't the white man hold Trayvon down? What did he do? And then that's where you sit there and tell yourself, well, he's evil. He sold out to the white man. And then you sit there, you keep telling yourself all of this dumb shit that's just preventing you. You watch motherfuckers get the fuck away from where it is that you were from. It's the motherfucker that you ridiculed while you were sitting there passing your stupid little blunt around, talking about when you was going to slide on the ops, and you was laughing at that motherfucker because he wanted to go home and do his homework and take his girlfriend on a nice little date to the movies, and you laughed at that motherfucker, and now he's sitting there doing something in life while you're still sitting there talking about the white man holding you down. Didn't affect him, but you don't want to be like that motherfucker because he's not cool. He's not part of the culture. He don't got fucking $8,000 Jordans and chrome hearts on or some shit like that, and he dresses like a nerd and he wears his glasses, but he's moved on in life. He's doing better things. He got rid of you, and somehow in your mind he's now switched up on you. He's changed because he left you behind, which is where he should have, because you should leave you behind.
Yep.
He did what you should do.
He did what you should
Period.
do. Period. 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 Period, Jay. Period, man. I don't look. I don't want to hear that shit no more. Oh, he's evil. He's the man. Listen, like Jay said,
Bullshit.
that's bullshit, man. Oh, I had a friend. Well, I got a friend, and they were telling me about their brother. Their brother is he steals from them, and he's hateful, and he's basically I'm like telling him like, all right, so just don't fuck with him. But they looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, nah, just don't ever fuck with him. Just don't. I mean, he'll still be your brother. Technically,
Can't change that.
can't change. You can't change that. But the one thing you can change is your position around him, and that is to be away from him. If he is causing that much harm on your life, and he's not adding on to your life, just don't be around him. Oh,
Get rid of him. Yeah, fuck
oh,
it.
but that's my brother. I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
So
I don't know, Jay. That's my okay. I don't like just.
don't matter.
It doesn't. It. When will we learn, man? None of these titles matter. I don't give a fuck. If like you could be my goddamn mom, you always gonna be my mom. You always gonna be my brother. You're always gonna be my dad. Whoever the fuck you are, you'll always be that. I can't change that. But the one thing I can do is change my life. And if my life has to exist without that person fucking it up, then that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen.
See, this is the thing that people don't get. Like, just because you have been assigned some sort of arbitrary relation to me, it doesn't mean that I have to put up with whatever behavior you decide to exhibit. Like, I don't need to deal with you just because. Yeah, sure, we have the same parents, but that doesn't mean you get to steal from me and lie and do all kinds of other fucked up shit. So it 1000% stop fucking with him. Okay. As some people would tell me that shit. Well, my dad's a narcissist. What do I do? Don't fucking talk to him. Like, you don't need to talk to that motherfucker. Like, but he's my dad. Okay. So what?
My dad's a narcissist.
What do you want? Yeah, most people use that as some bullshit, but let's assume
Okay.
this is true and he's doing all kinds of terrible shit to you, right? So the point
Yeah.
is, do you want to be treated terribly? No. Then fucking don't talk to him. What do you want?
Simple, man.
This is what it is. Who cares?
Yeah.
He's related to you. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, well, it's no gray area here, man. No gray area, man. It's just simple. It's black and white. No one said it's easy, but it is simple. It is simple.
Very straightforward.
No, that's straightforward. It's all black and white. Just don't add any gray area and you'll be fine. Yeah, but I've known him for so long and I don't give a it don't just take
Who cares?
that is you want to change your life, subtract the gray area. Subtract the yeah but.
Facts.
And just
Excuses live in the gray area.
just get down to the root of the problem and the root of the solution. X, Y, Z. That's it, and do it. No matter how difficult
Period.
it may be. No matter how difficult it may be. Difficult, yet simple. I'm a simple thinker.
Everything, despite what people would like to say, things are all very simple. People complicate things, so they have excuses to not do them.
That's
Like,
it.
we'll sit there with the relation with the person. Like, well, it's not that simple to just stop talking to it. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
You don't need to
for
keep
sure.
talking to that person. You could stop right now. Man, if you live with them, yeah, sure, maybe there's extra steps involved, but it's still very simple. Whatever your problem is, the solution is generally very, very simple. You're an alcoholic, don't drink anymore.
That's
You're a
it.
drug addict, don't do drugs anymore.
That's it.
You're fat, eat less food. Like, these are very straightforward things. But again, people love to complicate things. They love to add all of this stuff. They love to add all of this nuance and these exceptions, so they have excuses. Because it's very easy to say, it's so complicated to lose weight. I have to do all of these things. I don't know how. I don't understand which foods to eat. I don't know which ones interact well with my body, and I have an eating disorder. That's very easy to say. And it's much harder to accept that you're fat because you just won't stop eating.
That's it. And you know what, Jay? Going off that, people trying to look can be perceived as successful rather than actually doing the hard work and being consistent and doing the hard things, but simple, the hard, simple things. I noticed that people rather be perceived as intelligent than actually be intelligent. Also,
Fact.
people they rather seem smart than actually be smart, or and that's where you get people talking about politics they know nothing about because they want to seem intelligent. And then It's the people that think like us who are very simplistic. Well, hey man, you know this tariff. Like, how about I don't give a fuck? Hey, that's you're ignorant, or that's you're not you. They'll shame you for not like. Hey man, how about my energy is reserved for trying to be the greatest person or the greatest person I could be. I don't give a fuck about this policy, that policy, this that. I don't want to seem intelligent, man. I want to actually be intelligent, and intelligence in my book is being able to like you said it before. If a third grader can't understand it, if you can't explain it to a third grader for them to understand it, then you don't need to be explaining it. You don't know what you're trying to say. And I see a lot of people just regurgitating shit from time to time that they know nothing about just to seem intelligent and to appear intelligent. Yo, just keep it simple, man. Work hard, go to work, pay your bills, invest, and chill, man. Work out, invest, work hard, be consistent. Oh man, but what about the tariffs? What about immigration? What about ICE? Hey man, look, if they ain't kicking your door down, man, you be all right. How about this?
So
How about this, Jay? How about this, Jay? How about you not being illegal?
that's a novel concept. So here, this is the thing, man. So many people get so invested in so many things that even if they turn out the way that they want them to, it will affect their life in zero way whatsoever. Like, people are so wrapped up in the, let's take the tariffs. People are so wrapped up in the tariffs this, tariff that, right? But the thing, at the end of the day, regardless, this isn't going to make you a better person,
Nope.
regardless of what it is that happens. If the tariffs go away, if the tariffs are here, because before the beginning of this year, nobody knew what the fuck tariffs are,
No,
and they still fucking
they
don't.
don't.
And it's like, you don't understand what he's doing with the tariffs, why he's doing them with the tariffs. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying
I
I
don't
don't
know.
care, and he's going to do what it is that he does, regardless of how it is that I feel about it or what it is that I think about it, right? And but people are so wrapped up in this and these debates with fucking strangers on the internet and whatnot. It's like, let's imagine you win this debate and you switch this stranger's mind, and now he thinks the same thing about the tariffs as you. Congratulations. Nothing has changed. They still are exactly what it is that they are. Period. Like, this is the thing. People get fooled into being so wrapped up in these things that will not affect their life. Like, you could sit here all day. Yeah, you can stand outside with your fucking signs and you could protest this ICE shit all that you would like, but it's not going to change anything, because they're going to do what it is that they are going to do. If you actually want to make a difference, the only thing that you can possibly do is better yourself. We've said this before. And this is just what it is. If you're not going to work on you, there is nothing that you could do about any of this shit that matters. If you truly, truly, truly care about these issues, which most people don't, because once again, everyone was super gung-ho for fucking Ukraine, and y'all stopped talking about that when the TV stopped talking about it. Y'all was praying for LA when it was on fire, then the TV stopped talking about it, and you stopped talking about it. You was all here for the healthcare CEO that got shot, the Luigi dude, and then they stopped talking about it, and you stopped talking about it.
Mhm.
Y'all motherfuckers even stopped talking about Diddy, because this is not what it is that they are focused on. They told you about aliens on the news paid it no real attention, and neither did you. Like, you're just going with what it is that they keep telling you about. But the point is, if you really truly care about any of these things, then you need to become the absolute best version of you, the person of you who is in shape, who makes money, who does all of the things that they are supposed to do, because that's the only way that you're ever going to be able to make any degree of difference in this world. Nobody cares what a nobody thinks. That's just life. You could say that's wrong. You could say that's whatever it
Just
is
what it
that you would
is.
like. That's amazing. Maybe it is sad. Maybe it is unfortunate. Maybe it's not right, but it still is.
Yep.
And you whining about it isn't going to change that. So if you want to affect change, you need to become somebody who can affect change, or you need to sit there and admit to yourself that truly you don't really give a fuck about this.
You
And
don't.
if your life was better you wouldn't think about it one bit. If you were living the exact life that you wanted,
wouldn't
you would
care.
not think about it. If you were in shape, you made all the money, you had the relationship with your parents and your children and your spouse and
Wouldn't
all of
care.
that you wanted, you lived in the house you wanted, you drove the car that you wanted, you did the work that you wanted, you wouldn't
Wouldn't
pay
give
this
a
any
fuck.
fucking mind if you were honest with
You
yourself.
wouldn't give a fuck.
So focus on your shit.
You are being distracted. You are being distracted. And here's proof. Here's proof. Jay, you said it last episode. The previous administrations, they fucking exiled immigrants as well. They did the
And
same
y'all
thing.
didn't give a
They didn't give
fuck.
a fuck. It's just you didn't give a fuck. No one gave a fuck. Right? Oh well, it's the way they're doing it. As here goes the gray area.
You don't know how they were doing it before.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
come on, man. What are we talking about?
Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Fucking Joe Biden deported 4.7 million people in 4 years. How do you think he did it? You think they just handed themselves over? You think they weren't going out and finding them motherfuckers? This has been their job. They've been doing this.
Come on.
This has been what they do. Why do you think that the fucking ICE people have tactical outfits and battering rams and all of? Why do you think they have that?
For a reason.
This isn't new.
It's not new.
Like, they just weren't telling you about it before.
That's it. And there's a reason you know about it now.
Period. Because this is what they want. This is what they want you to fucking focus on. Again, I'm not even sitting here making a fucking claim about about people being deported. I'm not saying anything about any of that. What I'm saying is that they are highlighting this shit to you because this is what they want you to pay attention to and focus on. If it was this big of a deal to these people, it would have been a big fucking deal when fucking Joe Biden was doing the shit.
Facts.
If it was that big of a deal, because he had to have been doing it at a larger scale. He was 1 point some odd million people a year. That's a lot of people. Where do you think he was finding them? You think they all just incidentally got pulled over in traffic stops? That's insane. That's what is that what you think happened? It's not.
You think they all did they?
You think he wasn't taking them out their homes? You think they weren't getting taken out of their jobs?
Oh, they were going to court.
You think they weren't getting?
They were going to court, getting their doing the due diligence and going to court, getting their justified. Like, get the fuck out of here. They was getting pulled out of their sacks, pulled out of their cars, pulled under.
They were just shipping them motherfuckers off. Like, this is what was happening. Again, there is a reason that ICE is set up like the fucking SWAT team. Like there's a reason these motherfuckers got all of this tactic. This is not new.
It's not new. It didn't just happen, right? They didn't just buy all this new equipment.
They've been swarming shit.
Yeah, no.
That's what I'm saying. They've been swarming the shit. This is what's been happening.
Yeah.
This is the only way that could possibly happen.
And listen, there are people online that, they report this stuff but they may, we're talking about people who use this as content. Right? And you listen to these people and it's just, can we separate content from fucking actual reporting? Like, it's just content, man. Like you said, Jay, the people that's using this as content, they're not using the other information. Biden did the same thing at a larger scale. No one's reporting that side of it. So it's like, this is content for people.
Because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Yes, it's content, man. Come on, man.
Like, at some point in time, you people have to sit there and look at a pattern. I'm not even sitting here taking sides on any of these fucking issues. What I'm saying is that they are clearly fucking getting you to focus on certain things. What happened to defund the police? What happened to the fucking abortion activists? What happened to getting rid of all of the what happened to the school shootings?
I don't know.
What happened to the mass public shootings? What happened to police brutality? What happened to the aliens? What happened to everyone's a rapist? Like, where do all of these things go is the question. Where did COVID go?
Where did it go?
What happened to
Where
it?
is it?
Like,
where is it?
Once they stopped focusing on it, you stopped caring. Again, perfect case in point. No one's talking about Diddy anymore. He's still in trial.
Came and went.
What happened?
Came and went.
because they stopped showing it to you. They wanted you to pay attention to this for a little while, and eventually they will again. But right now, this is not what they want you to focus on. Like, you have to sit here and look. Some of this shit is so fucking transparent. If you could be an observer, and again, I said it previously a second ago, the aliens are the perfect example. The news popped up one time. Hey, there's aliens. People said, whoa, that's crazy. The news never said it again, and people never said it again.
That's crazy.
Come on.
It's facts.
Come on.
It's facts.
If that is not proof that they have just gotten all of you to focus on what they want you to fucking focus on, then what is? Y'all were talking about aliens and spaceships for forever. Then they told you about them, and you didn't give a fuck because they didn't want you to. Nope. They didn't want you to care.
Talking about fucking...
What happened to y'all motherfuckers with your drones? What happened to the blimps that were over everywhere that y'all was taking videos about? Why don't you care about this anymore? If you really care about this, why don't you care about these things?
No one... Yeah.
These have not been resolved. Why don't you fucking care?
No one cares. Oh yeah, I want to see this.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to see them JFK files, or I want to see what happened is, and I want to see this.
Why don't you care about fucking JFK files anymore? They came out and said, yo, the CIA murdered that motherfucker. Why don't you care? Why don't you care?
No one cares, man.
Because it's not what they want you to fucking care about.
That's it.
Like, I watch people do this shit, and I understand that people do, and shit is fucking absolutely infuriating that you could sit here, that you motherfuckers will sit here. This is basic pattern recognition. Yep. This is not some conspiracy shit. This is not any sort of political partisan debate. We are not taking the side of fucking Trump or fucking whoever the other person is. This is not the side of conservative and liberal. This is the side they have both sides have done this. Focus on this, forget about it, and focus on this over and over and over again. And y'all cannot seem to see the shit. Y'all cannot seem to recognize and understand this. But this is very fucking basic pattern recognition. This is not conspiracy theories and shit. This is not. They had the whole shit with COVID. They had fucking trials for Anthony Fauci and all of that shit. For
crazy,
the
right?
He was talking about.
Right?
For the lies about the fucking vaccines. For the fucking face mask bullshit. And none of you fucking cared. Because they didn't want you to care about it.
Maybe because most of y'all motherfuckers went and did that stupid shit and took the vaccine and shit, but that's another.
Here's the thing. If you went and did that, you should care more. You should be more upset about this shit.
Yeah.
If you're on fucking booster number 8, you should be more upset that they lied to you about this shit. Yeah. Like, what is your fucking problem here? And then these are you have the nerve to run around talking about oppression in the system. You're a fucking idiot. This is why you are stuck. This is why you are a slave, because you are a dumbass. There are people who will sit there and say, hey, look, you are in a cave. Look at the cave. Look at videos of the outside. And you'll be like, they said we're not in a cave, but there's a cave right here. I'm running into it. Look at the wall. They said there's no wall there, but it's right fucking there. Like, this is absolutely infuriating for some shit to sit there and say you are trapped and they are trapping you, and you respond, no, they said they weren't. Like, what are you talking about? You deserve to fucking be in here and die then. You deserve to sit here and starve to fucking death. When people are sitting there and say, yo, there's food right over there, and you're sitting there, well, no, they said it's not, but you can see it. They said it's fake. Like, you deserve this.
Jay,
this is on you.
That goes to what we said before. Do we care about the people who deserve? Do the sheep get slaughtered, man? That's what the sheep are there for.
And that's the fucking thing. Is some of it is like, some part of me wants to say, like, one part of me wants to say, yes, you should not subjugate and do this to people. One part of me wants to say that because it's the wrong thing to do. But the other part, it's like, there was a thing a while back with it was a Nigerian prince would email somebody, and then they would say that they have all this money and they need their bank information, and then the people would give them their bank information. Now, part of me says you shouldn't scam people because it's wrong. The other part of me says, you're so fucking stupid that you fell for it. You deserved that shit. It's very hard for me to feel bad for people who are getting tricked by this obvious shit. It's like, this is on you, mother. Sure, they shouldn't have done this to you, but you fucking let them, and therefore you deserve it.
You know the crazy part, Jay? At the very least, your natural human instinct should be to question everything. At the very least, even if you don't, fuck it. I'm gonna just question
for survival purposes.
I'm gonna just question it. Oh, if this guy's emailing me about sending me my fucking social security number. I'm going to question it.
Yeah, like how'd you get my email?
Question everything.
How do you know that I'm not a
How
scammer?
about we just question everything? How about just okay? You don't know anything. You're an idiot. You're a sheep. At the very least, you should just question shit. That will get you at least halfway. Win you half of the battles. If you question certain things. Yo, why do I have to do? Why are you posting this? Why am I seeing this? Why this? Why that? Why is this on my TV? Why is this on my if you just question shit, you will start to get the answers. No one
Not only
questions anything.
at all. Not at all.
Nothing.
It's fucking insanity. And it's like, because again, this is what we're saying still, because people have no fucking object permanence with things. Once something is happening, they focus on it.
Yep.
When it stops, they forget about
Yep.
it and they go on to the next thing like fucking goldfish. And it is absolutely like, do you not remember when this particular thing happened? And they're like, well, that's different. Why? No, it's not. It's not fucking different. This shit is very, very straightforward and is very apparent. And some people see it. Some people see what it is that's happening and they get rejected and laughed at from the shit. And it's like, well, nope, these other people said that this wasn't the case. Because here's the thing, this study said that. This study told me that all these Skittles taste the same. So they do. My taste buds have been lying to me for all of my life. Like and there are certain people that cannot have sense talked into them because they have long since outsourced their own thinking to everybody else. Like there are certain things when people will sit there and try to pitch me certain shit with studies, like certain things I don't believe. I don't know why I don't believe it. I just don't. Like people tell you, quite honestly, I don't really believe that the sun gives you cancer. I don't know why. I just don't believe that.
I don't
And
believe
you
it.
can sit here, you can tell me whatever data it is that you like.
Yeah,
I don't believe it. It don't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that either. It's crazy. I would.
How could what? How is the world gone on this long then? Like, I don't believe that.
I've been in the sun
And
for a
it'll be
long
like,
time. I don't know.
like I go to the sun all the time. I'm fine.
I don't.
People, what about the prisoners? Why aren't all prisoners die of skin cancer? Why aren't all the Africans dying of skin
I
cancer?
don't know.
Why aren't all the Australians dying of skin cancer? Why what are you talking
Maybe
about? Why don't monkeys die of skin cancer?
maybe they just need to sell suntan lotion or something. Maybe.
Maybe they don't want you to leave your house that
How about
much.
that?
Maybe the sun is very, very good for you and they want you to avoid that
How
shit and
about
they get
that?
you to rub yourself down with something that makes it bad for you.
How about
What if
that?
that's the
How
case?
about that?
What if that's the case? Like there're just certain things. Like you need to be able, I say all the time, it is better to have your own thoughts and beliefs and be wrong than it is to be right about something that you don't know why it is that you're correct, that you just accepted it, because that's how you are going to wind up enslaved and led astray. Is you just sit there and listen to the last 10 things they said were right, so the 11th thing must be too. Don't even ask about it. That's how they get you.
11.
That's how you will wind up trapped.
That's gambling.
Tell you 5 facts and a lie, and then you believe that the sixth thing is a fact because the last 5 were.
Well, Jay,
that's how they get you.
That's gambling right there. You rolling the dice. You rolling the dice. Yeah, might be. Hey, if I shoot this, hey, they was right the last 4 times. You gambling with your life.
They said it'd be okay.
You're gambling with your life, literally. I'm not gonna gamble with my life. If I do, it's gonna be on my own accord, doing what I want to do. I'm not gonna do what somebody else want me to do.
1000%. I'm cool with my own choice. Yeah. But this is the thing. You will have people who will sit here. There are people who believe that the political party that is in charge will change everything. And they have lived their whole entire lives watching the parties flip back and forth, and that never have fucking happened. Everyone's going to lower taxes and taxes keep going up. Everyone's going to do something about inflation, but inflation still keeps happening. Everyone's going to do something about homelessness, but people are still homeless. Everyone's going to do something about all of these things, but all of these things are still things. And somehow people still sit here and blame it on the reverse party. They'll be like, well, fucking Bill Clinton didn't fix everything because he sucks and he's a Democrat. George Bush will do it, and then George Bush didn't do it. And they say, well, it's the Democrats' fault that they wouldn't let George Bush do anything. Like, what are you talking about? Maybe all of these motherfuckers are lying to you. That's it. Has that ever occurred to you? Maybe every one of them is a liar.
I mean, after 50 years or 60, 70 years of you being with the same party or doing the same thing as going to the voting fucking booths and penciling in fucking. After all these years, nothing has fucking changed, and
Nothing has
you
changed.
want to keep doing the same thing. You want to keep doing the
The
same.
same thing, and still sitting here. They convinced you to sit here and wait for some fucking political savior to come down from the sky. Like, how long are you going to let them fool you with the same shit? That's the fucking problem. And again, we've said before, it is your choice to continue failing like this. No, the politicians are not going to save you. You have to go out there and
None
save
of
your
them.
own fucking self.
None of
You
them.
need to figure this shit out. You need to do something, and you need to stop looking for all of these fucking handouts. You can sit here. I hear people all the time talk about, well, the government should take care of people. Maybe you're right. Maybe they should. That's fine, but they're fucking not.
They're not.
We need to live in the world where they're not.
Oh well, they
You talk about all you well, single mothers.
well, Jay, they're especially not if you're fucking who would listen to a sheep anyway? So if they've turned us all into well, not all of us, but they turned most of you into sheep. Why would I listen to you anyway? The government is supposed to work for
Yeah,
us.
fuck do I
Yeah,
care?
what the fuck? The government is supposed to be working for us. But why would I work for a sheep if I'm a wolf?
Exactly, because y'all are like this is the point. They have fooled you so many times that there's absolutely no way that they respect you because you keep falling for the lies. If I keep sitting here and telling you
Yes,
bullshit and you keep going with it, then I'm going to lose all respect for you. If I'm like, hey,
yes.
sit inside your house, don't come out. And then they're like, okay. I'm like, here, this needle, put this in your arm. Cool. All right, put this on your face. Here, see that man? That's a woman. Okay. Like, y'all just go along with whatever. So I just keep telling you whatever because I don't even fucking respect you anymore because you're so fucking stupid. You just go with all of this. Like, at least if you reject the lies, they'll respect you for it.
I'm
And then maybe
telling
they'll
you.
stop.
I'm
But you keep
telling you.
showing them that there is literally no bar to what it is that they could say. Well, look at dope fiend. The dope fiend's dead. Fuck shit up. Okay.
And you,
Like, what?
you're crazy.
The fuck out
And
of
then the
here.
worst part of it, Jay, the worst part of it is if one of us do question on a large scale, what happens? On a large scale, what
Man,
happens? What do the sheep do?
nothing.
What do the sheep do to that person who questions on a large scale? And then they watch him, whoever gets questioned, whoever's doing the questioning, like, hey, hold on, wait a minute. That ain't I don't know about that. Or whoever goes the opposite way. If 100 celebrities say, I stand with Israel, and a couple will be like, eh.
Then somehow they're the crazy one.
What do? They get whipped in front of us. And what do we do? Oh, they so it's like you can't. So they shame you for questioning. So now people,
Of course.
I know some people who don't want to question in public platforms or public arenas. I'm not even going to say anything because the ridicule.
Because they seen what happened to Kanye.
Kyrie, anyone.
Speaking of, here's the thing. This is the thing. This is my interest. This is my theory about Kanye. I personally believe that all of Kanye's rants about Jewish people are simply to prove
That's what it is.
that you could say whatever you
Yeah,
want unless it's about Jewish people.
that's what it is. Of course, that's what he said. That's the
Because
point. That's the point.
he'd be sitting on there talking about black people, nobody cares. He talks about poor people, nobody cares. He talks about fat people, nobody cares. Nobody cares about any of that except the Jewish people. But people are so fucking brainwashed that they won't focus on this and won't be like, well, he's saying hateful things about everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we talking about that?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we not calling him out on that?
Well,
Why is it only these folks?
why can't he make a song called "Hail Hitler"? And I mean, why? Why? Why can't he not create a song called "Hail Hitler"? And why did it get deplatformed from every platform? And why can't I sing um fuck, bitch, nigger, shit, spick, bitch, whatever? I could say anything under the sun, but not that. I could even maybe I could make a song praising fucking, let's just say, Ted Bundy or some shit, or another mass murderer.
Eminem made a whole album about being a serial killer.
Yeah, got John Gotti is a big hero in our culture.
Everybody loves John Gotti.
You make a song called John Gotti. Sammy the
You can
Bull.
hype up Al Capone,
Oh,
Griselda
oh,
Blanco, Frank Lucas,
they got a lot of body.
Alpo,
Yeah,
every one of
we're
them.
not comparing.
Every one of them, that's
We're
fine.
not comparing them to Hitler, of course. Let's put that out there. We're just the point.
No, it's not. No. The point is though, you could talk about Jim Jones. Where do you think Jim Jones got his name from?
Yes.
Fucking cult leader.
Who,
His real name ain't Jim Jones.
who's the? I forgot the dude's name. The dude that he killed like 1 million Africans. I forgot the dude's name. I should know this. I know. I could just Google it. But he killed a lot of African people in the millions. No one even mentions his name. I mean, you can mention his name. No one's going to do anything about it. Nobody's going to deplatform you, or you could just name of the most heinous killer of all. Like, it doesn't even matter. No one's going to say anything except
The only people that I've ever heard be called problematic rap wise is Kanye West and Jay Electronica for what it is that they are saying. Because when he put out the album with Jay-Z that I can't think of the name of right now.
Testimony, some shit like that. I know what you're talking about.
Something like a living testimony or
something like that.
Him and Jay-Z, right? And then he said something about the synagogues of Satan, and everybody flipped out, and it was a huge problem. And he had a feature on it. I think it was like a No Name song or something, where like he said something anti-Semitic on the song, and it was a problem, right? But when Future's fucking bitches and the babies shooting people and fucking all of this, like, it's perfectly okay.
I find
it's not a problem. That's not problematic.
Yeah. I find that Jay Electronica. I find that situation to be somebody might need to look into that a little bit.
So that's a very interesting thing, because he's like one of the least controversial or even violent rappers, period.
The fact that, well, I don't want to tell his business, but he doesn't have an easy time traveling the earth. I don't know if you know, he was
probably not.
No, he doesn't have an easy time. He doesn't have an easy go at this thing. I mean, some might say that he put himself in that situation, or not. But I find his story to be interesting. I can't wait till it's told one day. I would like to know. I know I would, even anti-Semitic stuff. I mean, he was married to a Rothschild, which was
a Rothschild.
Yeah, interesting. Just an interesting story. I would love. I would love to sit down with him one day, and no one's ever interviewed this guy. I would like to talk to Jay.
What a fucking mystical motherfucker.
Man, we think we be on the mountaintops, Jay. That motherfucker's floating somewhere. I don't know where he at. Man, he's an interesting cat.
Wherever the fuck Andre 3000 is.
Facts. He's an interesting cat, man, to say the least. He's an interesting cat. But yeah, I would love to sit down with him, maybe on this show one day. And
now that would be some shit.
No,
that would be some
his story. His story is a wild one.
So from what I know about it is very interesting. But also speaking about this, why he catches certain flack is, we could go into this some other time, and I don't know, maybe you do know, but I kind of think that all of that is related to the fact that he came out and was supposed to be the next motherfucker, put out a single and disappeared. I feel like all of that's related. Again,
I wonder why. I wonder why. That's a story to be told.
That's some, again, I'm not trying to speculate on his story. I'm just
that's
saying,
what I said.
From what I know about him, from what he catches flack for.
That's why I said what
I think that has something to do with his disappearing album.
Yeah, I would love for him to tell his story one day. So let's just put that out there. Like, that's
all the way here.
That's his story to tell. But Jay, always a pleasure. You know how we do, man.
Yes, sir.
It's always a pleasure. This has been another great episode of Game Within the Game.
That you need to name. Oh, you know what? Shit. Hold up. Pause. What? I was going to tell you this ahead of time, but I was like, nah, I'm going to tell you here while we record. And I almost fucking forgot. So this is episode 21. This puts us in the top 1% of podcasts, volume of episode wise. Come on.
That just made my night, man. That just made my night.
Top 1%.
That's crazy, man. not without trials and tribulations behind the scenes, not with me and Jay, but everything is trials and tribulations. So you got to fight through those things. But we are here, 21.
21 episodes.
And I don't know why I don't know the name. It just came to my head. Don't ask me why. I'm naming this episode The Great Escape.
Oh, okay. I like it. I don't know why, but I like the name.
I don't even know why. I mean, we was just talking about Jay Electronica.
No, I mean that makes sense.
The Great Escape.
I like it.
The Great Escape.
I like it.
The one that got.
I like
the
it.
one that got away. And we will leave you with that. The game within the game. We love spreading the game.
Episode 21. Great Escape.
The Great Escape.
Out.
The Great Escape, Jay.